And we're live.
Wow, that was a shock.
I told her we were going on air. She just doesn't listen to me.
Of course I listen to you.
What was that? I believe I just crapped my pants. Not really.
It's Friday night. It's Paranormal Science Lab Live. I'm Lisa.
I'm Juan Carlos Valdez.
I'm Tristan. I'm Benson.
And Alex is...
Smoking a cigarette for the last 20 minutes. Which means he's probably on his cell phone.
Probably.
Talking to his wife.
Probably.
Close the door. Why did you even... Come, it's not locked.
She'll be back.
Thank you. Close enough. So what are we talking about tonight? Anything good or...
Well, we're talking about what motivates people to be in the paranormal.
Sheer craziness.
Insanity.
Insanity?
Loco en la cabeza.
Well, and there's a difference between those who are just interested in it and those who actually decide to investigate. What makes people go to the further step of saying, I want to investigate, or I want to investigate my own house?
Hollywood.
I'm gonna say no. I think personal experience.
I do too. I think for most people, something happens that they just can't ignore, and continues to at them until they figure it out. They need answers.
I think that's part of it. I think people are also look for maybe a deeper spiritual understanding. Maybe some people are looking for what they've been taught their entire lives is that's actually real, or if it's all crap.
Well, I think that a lot of people end up to the point, especially those that were raised in a pretty structured religious background, start questioning it. And you still with us, Juan?
No.
I was wondering if we're going to have to call 911 there.
No, I'm good. I'm breathing. I could use a nap.
Well, maybe we're going to be investigating you here in a minute.
Selena said she was going to call in. Call into what, Selena?
Where to comment?
There's a chat room thingy, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
So no, but really, you're probably right. I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with their personal upbringing. They're starting to question that upbringing, maybe. Mm-hmm. They're looking for something a little deeper.
And, I do think that, though, the people who end up investigating tend to be people who are a little unconventional in the sense that they aren't worried about conforming. They tend to not worry about what other people think as much.
I care what people think.
I can't even describe that.
My beard smells nice.
Okay, I take back what I said. Tristan, do you have an idea?
Back to the loony farm. What?
Why do you think people decide to investigate, besides sniffing their beard?
Maybe the adrenaline rush of, if kind of like what I said, the whole Hollywood thing was that they want that adrenaline rush that they don't really get. So then they think that, we're going to go investigate, and we're going to go investigate like some fake or like
old creepy house.
Yeah, old creepy house. So
well, that's a good point. So does shows like what was that, Paranormal Activity? No, not that one. What's
Criminal State?
No, the other one. The one with Zach Baggins.
Oh, Ghost Adventures.
Ghost Adventures.
not sponsored.
Huh?
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Yeah.
But the shows like that, where they are possessed every investigation and they're always fighting demons, do you think that gets the adrenaline junkies charged up and thinking, well, I can do that? I can go.
I'm tougher than that.
I'm tougher than Zach.
Yeah, and those people who, again, not on the show to hate on people, just stating our opinion, but the,
What are you, like, disclaimer boy today?
yes. Can't get sued if there's a disclaimer.
That's not true.
But still, there's those people who call themselves, quote, witches, unquote, that are kind of like those high school witches thing, where they just kill things to make people be all creeped out.
That's a good save.
What?
You start smart. Yeah, that.
What?
Start talking about witches.
Oh my god. Everyone knows what I mean.
We know what you mean. You're talking about the ones that try to freak people out and
Yeah.
wear dark clothes all the time. And
Yeah, not the actual witches who are cool people. Some of them.
like your dad.
Right.
Right.
More like Lisa, but you know.
Well, thank you.
It's hateful.
Name drop. But
There
yeah.
will be daddy a couple times later now.
No, there won't. But yeah, like those people who are just out there to creep people out and call themselves witches, which they aren't, I guess, in a way.
I think that I think a lot of people want to be freaked out, titillated. I mean, I remember years ago.
What the hell does titillated mean?
No, you think it means.
Excited.
Thank you. You can't just use excited.
It's a special kind of excitement.
And here's playing.
Okay, on with your story.
Years ago, working for major bookstore chain in a town not too far from us that has several religious colleges, you find that at these colleges they will have required classes on the occult and for incoming freshmen.
I've heard that,
and
actually.
how
Yeah.
to recognize the occult. And so they would have a reading list, and which of course the religious college bookstore wouldn't carry, so they would have to order them. And they would come in and pick up their books, and they were just so excited to open the Satanic Bible or whatever it was.
They actually had to read the Satanic Bible?
Yes, there was a list of them, and
I find that fascinating.
it is. But what fascinated me more was just the reaction of these 18-year-old kids fresh out of high school going there to get their religious college degree, and it was no different than running the 12-year-old boys out of the magazine section, trying to get the Playboys.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is. I don't know how to react.
It's an
to
interesting mental picture, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean they'd be, almost just shaken and just so excited to. It's the forbidden fruit, and I think for a lot of people, I think that are the adrenaline junkies. I think it has that quality to it. I want to see the other side that I'm not supposed to see, type thing.
And I find that funny because I've been accused of Satanism. I'm sure you have before too, and I've never even read the Satanic Bible. I've looked at it, in bookstores.
And it doesn't have anything to do with Satan worship anyway, but...
Yeah, it really doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But I find it funny that a Christian school is part of their curriculum.
The course is how to recognize the occult.
And these
So
kids who want to get their Christian degree are getting excited about reading about the occult.
Yes.
This doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, seriously, wide-eyed, shaking, just like when you find the little boys trying to sneak a Playboy. I mean, no different.
I never did that.
No, I'm sure you didn't.
Neither did I.
It's because there's none in the house.
What?
But
So that's an interesting thought. So you think it's sort of like
forbidden knowledge.
But forbidden knowledge of what? Let's put that deeper.
That realm, the occult realm, it's built up as something taboo, as something to be scared of. And so I think a lot of people have grown up wary, and then I think especially with the TV shows and everything, people are starting to look at it and say, oh, I can do that, and I can find it out for myself.
And that's not near as scary as I've been led to believe.
Right.
Or that won't happen to me. I won't get possessed.
Right. Or that's fake, or
I don't even believe in that, so I'm just going to go do it to do it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, we've had that on tours.
It doesn't make sense either, because if they're at a Christian college, then they have to believe in some sort of Satanism, because there's Satan in the Bible.
Well, that's
We're talking about ghost hunting there, Chief.
Yeah,
I know, but still,
you're off on another conversation.
No, but still, it's just because it's something that they don't believe, so that it can't happen to them, doesn't make sense because it's part of their religion.
No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about ghost hunting.
I know, but I'm still on that.
Well, but people create Chinese walls in their head,
Chinese walls?
Why can't it be black walls or white walls?
Pigeonholes, whatever you want to say.
There you go. Blame the bird. I don't care.
It's the same thing. But to tell themselves, oh, I believe in this, but I give no power to Satan or the dark side, but they know that it's there, and because they've been told that, oh, we don't talk about that, the fact that, oh, I might actually find out what it's all about, they get excited.
And I truly believe that if you're going to do something, you have to know both sides of the house. Mm-hmm. I'm a firm believer in having the knowledge to be able to go out and do, investigating, for one. People tend to go out and try to do it on their own without any knowledge of how it works. Or they don't have the knowledge to get themselves out of trouble if they do find something that is not what they were thinking really existed.
Exactly.
And I hate to say, I don't want to say demons, because that's not really the case. Generally, it's, or negative spirit. Inhumans are even as not really that common. Mm-hmm. But, they don't know how to get themselves out of a situation where, they're getting beat up, in essence.
Exactly.
And, that's what people need to be worried about, instead of, well, I can go do that. Because those are the people that are going to get their ass knocked in the dirt, and, psychological issues. Mm-hmm. They're the ones that give good investigators bad names. They go out and, they post pictures of things that aren't really what they are. I showed you today. And, you can't do that kind of stuff and expect to have a good reputation, because eventually that's going to catch up to you. Well, yeah. And there's a lot of smaller groups, and even in our area, that have a tendency to draw people that aren't on the up and up, that are instigators or drunks, and they're drinking on investigations, they're bringing guns on investigations. Just silly, stupid stuff.
Turning it into a party.
It's a party, yeah, and that's just going to get somebody hurt, because drinking changes your mentality, it weakens your mental state, and that actually could cause you bigger problems than even maybe even instigating.
I think too. There's sort of I've seen sort of a carryover between those kind of investigators and people who do urban exploring, and because going into places that they don't have permission to go into to explore, and
but they show that kind of crap on TV too, and that
I think it gives it. I think that gives it a license. I think people say, okay, I see it on TV, so it's okay.
What they don't really know is behind the scenes, the producer's going, no.
Or do this,
yeah.
or or we really do have the release to be here, but we're just not telling you that.
Right.
And that's the thing. Oh, so you joined us, Alex.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Okay. We are discussing what motivates people to investigate the paranormal. Thoughts?
Well, I can speak from experience. I mean,
Okay.
Mine was I was handcuffed and in a basement and dragged.
in Korea.
No, it was here.
Oh,
No, that's what he blames me for.
okay. Gotcha.
They were fuzzy handcuffs, so at least they weren't really uncomfortable.
Oh well, you probably enjoyed a little bit of it then. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway. Stop shaking your head. I can't keep a straight face. Anyway, I don't know. For me, at least, it was just part of it was the TV thing. I mean, I got like Ghost Hunters had just came out, and so that kind of was a little bit of like an in for me, just as far as interest was concerned. But I was also pretty heavy into photography, things of that nature. So, I mean, I saw potential there, and if you can, to me, it was if you can investigate a place and then use, like with photography, like there's so many photos out there, there's so many videos that are just total BS that, people have thrown together in Photoshop, and some probably should have bought Photoshop because it's just that horrible. And I like to kind of be the guy that sits there and says, no, that's not right. That's not real.
How's that again?
What, that's not right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not real? Okay. So, that was
But did you want to catch the real thing?
well, yeah.
Yeah.
People go out in the woods looking for Bigfoot and, only look for people wearing monkey suits. Like,
I don't know. There, we saw a picture today. I think that may have been the case, but
I don't even think that was a human. They're posting a local group posting stuff that's not even kind of paranormal.
they like duct tape a bunch of.
It's shadows in the leaves is what it is. It's just
in the trees.
It's artsy.
yeah, it's artsy.
14-year-old girls
orbs.
Take pictures of that, yeah.
Or orbs, quote unquote. Outside, mind you, they were taking pictures outside and caught
In the daylight.
orbs.
They must be legit.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Well, here's a question, everyone. Do you think there's a particular kind of personality that's drawn to the field, or that is at risk for problems?
Well, there's two personalities that get drawn to the field. One is the, like we keep saying, the adrenaline junkie kind of person who just wants to go out there for the fun. And then there's the people who actually want the truth, and they're actually real people.
there's also narcissistic behavior.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of that in the paranormal. We have one in this room.
I'm going to refrain from commenting. I'm above that.
That's only because he stood up.
Well, no, I do tend to agree there. There seem to be some personalities that give no quarter to other people's opinions, to anything else, and show no empathy or remorse for other people, and
I think we were talking about Ted Cruz.
political shows later.
Okay, my bad.
But
Accurate though.
yes, but and it ends up in a lot of arguments and a lot of feuds.
Yeah, I think so. I think, and lately it seems like it's happening more and more. Maybe it's just because, those people are, all that's coming to a head. But there's a lot of people in the field that I've noticed that have some humongous egos and think that people should cater to them.
bow down
Yeah.
when they enter the room.
Because
Yeah.
I found a dust orb on a picture. That's just crap.
I found
you
a
know?
freckle on my butt. Does that make me special?
The fact that you can see your butt is impressive. So, I haven't seen that.
No, I do agree with you with the egos, and you would think that people who are interested in this field would be fairly open-minded,
You would think.
but they tend not to be.
No, they tend not to be, which surprises the hell out of me.
Yeah, and then they let their ego come in between them and like other groups where they just start bashing everyone else if they're not in their group or something like that.
So here's an idea. Do you think that, well, I mean, paranormal investigation has been going on for
Hundreds of years.
a long, long time. Do you think the advent of social media has helped or hindered such endeavors? I mean,
Well,
A little of both, really.
right.
I think that it gives the people that don't have any idea what they're talking about an outlet, and people follow them. Thousands.
That's the scary part.
It is scary. And instead of doing, they assume that the evidence that they're posting is accurate.
Are you sure this isn't a political show?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, you see where,
there
I
are
can
some
see where it fits.
Yeah, there are some parallels.
But it also gives an outlet for people that do good work, and in the same sense, they do get a lot of followers too. I mean, you got 7 to almost 8 billion people in the world now. There's plenty for everybody, but at least do good work. At least put out good evidence. And,
There's just not enough of the live and let live attitude.
right. Everybody does this paranormal unity thing. Paranormal unity, that'll never happen. It'll never happen. And the ones that preach it most are the worst.
It seems to be, yeah.
So
It's almost like a badge of saying, because I say it, it must be true.
mm-hmm.
And
That doesn't work?
no,
Oh.
no,
You are
Yes.
pretty though.
actions speak a lot more than those words.
I've
Everyone can say-
always lived that. I've told him that for years.
Mhm.
You can tell me something, tell me something, tell me something, but unless I see you do it, it don't mean crap to me.
Yeah,
you
they'll
know?
tell you the same thing. That's how they, were taught.
Okay, guys, back to the show.
If there was only video, no one would watch it.
No, that'd be paranormal porn.
Which is not.
Now you're giving them the wrong impression.
We should create a paranormal porn.
Yeah.
See, the funny thing is we've talked about that before.
They want to make one in space, I'll tell you that.
Space porn.
Yeah, Pornhub wants to sponsor it.
Yep. I feel like that's paranormal.
I might be interested in that.
Right.
Actually, they say it's physically impossible.
I predict severe bodily injury, and I'm looking forward to it.
You're the professional wrestling kind of fan, right?
I hate wrestling.
Love wrestling.
I hate it. So fake. Like boxing.
Well, okay, but kind of veer back to topic a little bit.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people who want to say they take things seriously, but they don't, and they don't want to put in time and effort, and they don't want to.
Time and effort. That's the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
People and they.
They want to do the investigation, but they don't want to review the evidence.
And that's exactly it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
And that's, people don't think about the big picture of paranormal investigation. It's not just FaceTime.
Well, yeah, I mean, how much further developing research or evidence are you going to go if people aren't putting in the time to review?
Right.
Yeah, I was talking to my counselor about the exact same thing.
Entrez-vous.
Okay, come on in. No.
Oh, hi, Mom. I didn't think you were coming in. You may get up and let your grandmother sit down.
You'll find another chair if you would.
Oh, that's fine.
Have a seat. We'll find another chair.
No need.
Yes, we are on the air. Hi, Patsy.
Hello.
It's 7:30. We're on the air.
We're talking about
I know
what
the weather.
we're talking about what motivates people to investigate.
Curiosity.
I think probably curiosity somewhat.
I mean, you know, for people actually to go to the point of being on a team and to really to do this regularly, I think that to be successful, there's certain personalities that help.
Not sleeping helps a lot.
Yeah, getting rid of that sleep thing. That
I
does
just throw that out the door. That gives you enough hours in the day.
Probably why I don't do it so much.
I should do it less. Because really, you know, you got to go through the evidence. You got to, you got the investigation itself. And if you don't have enough team members doing that stuff, then somebody's got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, and there's a lot more people who are into it now because of the TV shows and so forth, and I think you get a lot more people involved that are there because, it looks fun on TV.
Right.
And that's, and some people start out that way and get serious about it, and others don't.
Everything looks fun on TV.
Yeah.
That's why it's on TV.
It's designed to look fun, even if it's not.
Hours of, filming for 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. People think, that's easy, I can do that.
Until you try doing that. It's not so easy.
No, it's really not. I mean, investigation's not that hard. The actual investigation itself. I mean, you got to ask the right questions, and but other than that, it's not rocket science. But if you don't go through that evidence, again, that's where the key is right there. People just don't realize how much time it takes to do that.
Exactly. And really that's the best part is when you get a good piece of evidence. I mean,
that's the whole point of doing it in my mind. Because
right.
I mean, we've gotten some really cool EVPs and stuff like that, and you couldn't see me.
Not too well.
And it's really that's the adrenaline rush, really, for me.
It is me too.
Now, on an investigation, if you see something cool, that's another thing altogether. But to have that piece of evidence that, this is paranormal.
And you can look at, you can see again and again, or hear and say, here it is.
And just some of them, sometimes you get EVPs that are just super clear, and you think, man, I mean, you just want the history behind it, and why, because some of them seem pretty random, some of them don't, but some of them are direct responses, which is even cooler, by the way.
Oh yeah.
But
well, it's like the when we were in Chicago, we three were in Chicago. When you have something that really jumps out, you have activity that is very unusual, like we did at Edwin's. That's as good as it gets. And then when you find something in the evidence, I mean, that's just icing on the cake.
right,
You remember that EVP from Waverly?
Which one?
the growling.
Oh, the death tunnel one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
See, I didn't really get much from that.
Really?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you hear the whole thing?
Mhm.
Hearing it the whole way through?
We're doing a show, people.
Turn your phone off.
I thought it was.
Well, at least turn it down.
Your mother never
Jeez.
turns her
Anyway,
phone off, ever.
so you killed the moment. Killed the mood.
Yeah, we had this scare moment going
Yeah.
on. Then
My phone's on
Well, happy
silent.
to.
My phone's on silent. Anyway.
my phone's probably not even charged, to be honest with you. Probably in my pocket, dead.
No, you got nothing from that EVP.
No, not really. I mean, I heard it, but
I don't know, man. Like, when I first tried to, strip it down and kind of weed out all the background noise and, just white noise.
It almost makes your eyes water.
Yeah, I mean, my eyes would water. And I just get this sinking feeling in my gut. And it's not like there was anything audible in it. But it was just,
It was such a...
How do I describe it? It was like it was like 1,000...
Cockroaches from hell.
Yeah, it was just the most bizarre thing.
But you're kind of a sissy. So, I mean,
Oh,
honestly...
Shove it.
And then, and I guess part of it for me, too, was hearing Jeremy's reaction.
Right. He was thoroughly... He didn't...
And Jeremy is not someone who...
He was the sissy. So...
Yeah, he's the one who jumped, and he wasn't a fraidy cat.
No, he wasn't typically one to,
When you start hearing something that sounds like 1,000 cockroaches coming from hell...
But he didn't hear that.
But yeah, he didn't hear anything at the time.
And what you heard in the EVP was, what he heard was way down the tunnel. It sounded like someone was taking a lead pipe and hitting it against like the wall or another pipe. Which, that freaked me out if I was by myself in this dark tunnel. But, like, who else is down here with me? But it was, I forget what he said on the track. It was something like,
But do you want me? Can I come closer or something like that?
It was something along those lines.
And then bam, and okay.
Well, it was in the audio. Right after that
is
when that just strange noise hit, and it wasn't audible to him. It wasn't audible at all, but it picked up on the track. And as far as I could tell, there wasn't like any corruption in the sound file or anything. And it was just truly, you could say paranormal moment. It was...
Something was going on.
I sure as hell couldn't tell you what it was. Can I say hell? Is that appropriate?
That's okay. We're on the internet.
We've had people drop the F-bomb. You cannot.
Oh.
Yes, have dropped the F-bomb.
You said that at the right time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
But, but that's the thing. You see some people who, they have a real experience like that, and then, bam, they're out.
Right.
And then you get people in that are all about ego, and a lot of those people never seem to produce anything, evidence, it's just stirring the pot. Do you think personality really has a big impact?
On getting evidence or
getting evidence, being effective?
I think personality is a big part of it. I think that people with bad attitudes are going to collect less evidence than people that are in it for the science of it and really trying to make contact of any sort. It's like atheists. They're the most...
Throw one of these snowballs at you, dude.
Okay.
I hate coconut, and to me it would be insulting, but...
No, that would be a beautiful thing.
Well, then eat them. I don't want them. But go on, finish your statement.
No, I'm just jacking with you.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Because they don't believe in anything, but yet they can't explain direct responses on EVPs.
We don't try to.
I have seen him. I have seen him have experiences where he knew something was going on.
Well, yeah, I have too.
Hey, man, we all have our own magnetic field that interacts with the environment around us. And I'm not saying that that's,
saying your magnetic field's talking on EVP.
That's possible. It's possible.
No, it's not.
So okay.
It doesn't sound anything like you.
Explain you in the operating room at Kendrick House with flashlights coming on and off in your hand, standing behind me.
There isn't an explanation for that.
Something was going on.
But there's not an explanation for that. At least nothing that I know could explain what that was.
John can tell you. He's had an up-close experience with it recently.
Then do tell.
Oh, I don't know what he is, other than
the bastards.
Not human. I can tell you that. Powerful. Super strong. High energy.
Have you
And I
ever
found it interesting that he came out the same day that one of the original members was there. I just find that really fascinating. Because we've been in that house how many times since, and he's usually really not around.
But other times we've seen him, like the night
Who was there?
well, the Black Mass that sometimes forms into.
Well, you said original member.
Oh, family member, Jackie.
Yeah, Carol's sister.
Hmm.
You didn't see her? She was there for. Well, this was during the Girl days or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she may have left before you got there.
Yeah,
She and her
'cause
husband
Yeah.
came by
She was actually really cool.
and thanked us for.
Have you ever picked up on whatever that is at the battlefield?
Mm-mm.
I think it's. I think there's soldiers there. But
There's
to be
something more than a soldier there.
but there is a Black Mass there too.
I haven't seen it.
It's not a black mass.
I've seen a Black Mass there.
No.
Why always gotta be black, huh?
Well, what have you
Was
seen?
racist?
It can't be a white mask.
Or pink.
Pink. A nice pink mask.
No.
Purple.
I mean,
A peach mask.
you remember me talking about it. There was. Who was I there with? I was there with Jordan. And I was there. There was. Yeah. Regardless. But I saw it once there with her. I've seen it by myself there, which that was extraordinarily terrifying. But there's like that little bluff that. I'm gonna let you finish. Okay. But there's a little bluff, kind of
Yeah.
off in the back, and I just kept hearing noises, and of course, you're out in the park in the middle of the night. There's crap running around and all kinds of stuff, but I was standing probably about 50, 60 feet away from the bluff, and that's when it's so hard to describe. I saw eyes, and at first I thought it might have been just like a deer or raccoon, whatever, an animal, but it was just, the more I looked at it, the more I wanted to walk up to it. And so I got closer and I got closer, and of course there's that little river that kind of trickles down between the bluff and yeah. Anyway.
Your mother.
Oh, I know.
Thank you, Mom.
I got closer, and then what I thought were tree limbs or branches. I mean, they just looked like arms on like it was like a palish looking creature, and it was one of those situations where it's like once it came into focus, and I won't say realized what I saw, because I mean, to this day I don't know what I saw.
Some sort of cryptid.
I mean, you could call it that, yeah. I mean, as soon as I saw it, it took off. But you've seen Lord of the Rings.
Oh, like a golem looking type thing?
Almost.
Was this out at the farm?
Sexy.
No, this was out at the battlefield.
Well,
This is what I was talking about.
Oh.
That I saw it out there, and I mean,
Places with that much negativity, though, it's not uncommon for them to manifest odd things, I don't think.
well, you had a similar experience, you and Benton, out at the farm once.
oh god, I had nightmares about that forever.
Was it something similar?
No, what I saw out there was. I mean, this thing looked like it might have. I mean, my best guesstimate, maybe 4 foot tall if it were to stand up on 2 legs. I mean, it crawled away on 4. But what I saw out there was, I could have sworn. I mean, I was a lot younger. I could have sworn I was 8 foot, 9 foot tall. And that was, I won't say black mass, but it was just like this dark, solid figure. Probably, you say 150 feet, 200 feet.
Probably 150 feet.
About 150 feet away, standing in front of that barn, and it was just standing there. And at first I thought, holy crap, what are you doing on the farm?
Yeah.
Leave. It's when, I just what stood out was its arms because they hung down past its knees, and it just stood there. And Benton will vouch for me too. He saw it too, and I mean that was one of those like my heart just dropped into the pit of my stomach. My blood ran cold. My hair stood up, and I ran inside to get my mom and dad because it was just like I just watched Signs too, so it looked like
which makes it worse.
Which made it 12 times worse because that's what I thought it was.
And then we were wondering, are you sure you saw her? But
Well, it could have been alien, though. I mean, really.
Entirely possible.
You don't know what it was. So.
I mean, all I know is that it was big, and I felt like it was staring right at me. Of course, it could have been looking the exact opposite direction because it was just a solid, just black figure. But its shoulders were just broad and extraordinarily long arms.
Well, and they gave very detailed description of it, and they both did. And it was obvious that they both had seen something because they were both really freaked out. And
this day, I don't like being out of the farm at night, just because that always just pops in my head. And heck, that was how long ago was that?
That was probably 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah,
So in Benton's the same way. It's dark out there. Of course, then you also have the soldiers who run through there at night too.
They're all over the damn place. That doesn't bother me though.
Yeah, that never bothered me. It's that.
I love how this discussion has gone from what gets people involved in it. Well, I guess
This is what gets people involved. Like these experiences.
Things like that made me really kind of. It made me want to know, the truth about it because. When you see something and it is completely beyond you, you have no earthly idea what it is you saw. Whether it's a shadowy figure, an ethereal mist creeping through the hallway. Whether you thought you saw an alien, looking in your window in the middle of the night. Any of those things. You want answers.
I think it's no different than people who have their religious experiences, who see an angel or whatever, or a near-death experience, and
it was
become very,
It could have been.
Yeah.
Well, people don't seem to question when people have a religious experience or a near-death experience,
right.
But
and decide they are exploring God and heaven.
But if you say that you saw a UFO or an alien, you're a nut job.
Right.
But to be honest, I think it's really the same spectrum.
Duh.
Although that guy on the History Channel doesn't help the case.
No.
He should get a haircut.
If he got a haircut and quit acting so, he'd probably be okay.
But it was aliens.
Right.
Yeah.
It was aliens.
Yeah.
But I really do think it's the same thing, but people view one much different than the other.
They do.
There's a stigma about it. Paranormal's taboo. Which doesn't make much sense. Given the last 2,000 years, the predominant, for instance, like in the Christian religion, the predominant church was the Catholic Church, and that's all about ghosts and crap.
Less crap, but more ghosts. Right.
Yeah. You think about it. Hell, Jesus rose from the dead.
That's true. That's a little zombie freakish.
Well,
right? Holy Ghost, zombies, angels.
Bringing Lazarus from the dead.
Right.
Yeah,
demons.
But
yeah,
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, there's. I guess it's because of establishments like the church. That's why the occult became such a popular and powerful thing too.
True.
There's a light and dark side of everything. Not to say there's anything wrong with the occult,
churches
which I find fascinating.
Churches are kind of like the government. They don't want competition.
Right.
So.
There we go, political again. You too.
As long as they get a tax.
Yeah.
They both do, yeah.
They do, but anyway, keeping it relevant. I don't know. It's just the whole paranormal field was kind of birthed from those institutions, you could say.
No, I agree.
I find it just kind of absurd that institutions within the paranormal field are ridiculed for doing such things by, the the very reason that they came to fruition.
I mean, after all, it was the churches that started witch hunts and everything else, and
Exorcisms.
Damn witches.
exorcisms and everything, and so they're the ones who started the look at the occult and paranormal. They just don't want, joke. They don't want competition, but in a way, that's true. There's been such a stigma placed on it that no, this is our realm, not yours, and so when people do want to think on their own and look into things, then it kind of comes back to the you're not fitting in, you're the oddball. And so I think those that are more effective are people who have a personality to say, I don't have to conform, and I'm not going to cave to pressure from other people.
At the same time, go ahead.
We're not picking on Christians. I just want to say that.
Yeah,
No,
because
no,
and
no.
that's just the most relevant.
they are the most relevant. I mean, they're the largest largest religion in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a very good conversation with a lady raised Pentecostal, just this week. I mean, we were talking about how psychics are actually in the Bible, and how people don't they don't really put that together with what they've been taught, and what they've been taught is not what's being is actually the facts.
It's just a larger version
Right.
of what's in the Bible, yeah.
Right. So they, and that there's really nothing wrong with people that do that. I mean, Jesus hung out with a bunch of them. They first called them seers, now they're prophets. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was not, Jesus was chilling with the seers. He knew what was up. I don't know why he didn't realize that the Romans were coming. That's all I want to know.
Yeah, they didn't see
Must
that.
not have been some very good prophets.
That's right.
Just saying.
They didn't see that one coming. But, I mean...
So all I could think of was your father was a woman? I'm sorry. I just watched that the other day.
Wow.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a little Monty Python.
I'm not even. Okay. Let's change the subject before I just start reciting lines.
Big shot, gnarly teeth.
Got a twin back in Rome.
It's just a flesh wound.
Follow the shoe. Okay, we'll go stop.
Yeah, I'm gonna die.
The Castle Anthrax.
Oh,
The Castle Anthrax.
okay.
Monty Python's Holy Grail, the greatest movie ever made.
I don't know, Life of Brian.
Life of Brian.
Life of Brian was good,
The
but
best.
I don't know.
They're both good.
Now we're off topic.
Now we're off topic.
Yeah, we're close enough to the end. Didn't matter.
Well, I guess the question is there is there any middle grounds or way to kind of deal with these issues, these motives that seem to cause confrontation and clashes between people in the field?
I think dueling should resurface. I feel like that was a good way to settle arguments.
If you were a good shot,
Yeah, either that or demons at 20 paces,
right?
Well,
Throw demons at people.
Incoming.
I'll have to do some like After Effects work there in the footage to make it look legit. But,
Right.
We can do it.
You're asking me to give a solution to people's behaviors, and it's like, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, yeah, but I mean, for one thing, I think it is important to find people that you're a good fit with.
I agree.
And
But then a team full of crazies is a whole bad idea too. So
well, yeah, but they may not realize that. I don't know, but
Do an investigation. They're all huffing paint, and pissing in the corner, like
yeah.
nothing gets done.
yeah, but
Wow.
Experience.
Right.
Yeah.
She's never gonna let you come here again.
Oh, no, she's not.
Yeah.
I did that on purpose.
I figured.
the problem is I'm really used to him, so
I know.
I really
Yeah.
ignore most of it. So, just happens over time. But, in some ways, though, when you talked about social media earlier, I think that is where social media kind of has a real downside, is because when you get those personalities that want to argue and want to belittle, I think social media just amplifies it. And
you don't have to do it to their face. I mean, everyone can talk shit on Facebook. I mean,
right. But then so many of them really start treating Facebook like the real world too, and
It's not.
I hate to break it to you.
I love my mother.
Knew there was a reason I liked her.
But then you got idiots though that like automatically assume that, without any sort of reasoning, that's fake.
Mm-hmm.
That's fake. That's obviously a lens flare.
Yeah, the famous lens flare.
Okay. Explain to me.
Yes.
Elaborate why you think it's a lens flare. The same from a guy that's got a picture of his head like this. Like this much up space above his head and like this much of his eye. He's a photography genius.
yeah.
Lens flare is a lot less scary than the real thing.
That's exactly it.
Well, yeah.
But this was just a white mist. I mean, it really wasn't. It went up the chimney, whoop-de-doo,
Lens flare.
lens
Yeah.
because it went up and
moved
disappeared the
through
chimney.
Moved through the room, changed direction, goes up a chimney while the camera doesn't move.
Well, yeah, lens flare.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, everyone knows lens flares do that.
Yeah, I always thought they did.
Yeah. It actually, it's probably plasma.
You could train them to like come out the top too and come back around for another pass.
Yeah.
See, that needs to be the next step.
Right.
We train the miss, then.
No, the lens flare's not the
No,
mist.
the lens flare.
You can't train. You can't train
mist.
mist.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
what's wrong with you?
Yeah, that's a whole nother energy.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
Where were you in science class? Come on. I'm disappointed.
I was sniffing the Bunsen burner,
Lit. No.
That explains a lot about you. No.
So that's
I thought
where
that-
I got it from.
No.
Oh.
I just figured you were on LSD when you had him.
Oh. No.
Yeah.
I can't blame it on that either.
You were born in what, the 80s?
I was born in the 90s.
Oh my god.
I'm not that old. How old do you think I am?
How old do you look or how old do I think you are?
Give me both.
I thought you were in your 40s.
Oh, you did.
You're like 28.
I'm not.
Am I close?
No. Well, kind of, but no.
Whatever.
I'm 23.
I'm not that old.
You really thought I was 28?
You're old enough to have a 28-year-old.
If I was
Ooh.
really young, yeah.
Yeah, like 18.
Yeah, well, I didn't have...
Granted, really young to have a baby,
Yeah.
but not impossible.
Well, no, not impossible, but no.
And at least a legal adult at that point.
But no, he's 23.
Yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd have thunk it?
Right.
Yeah.
You really thought I was... God damn.
No.
Okay,
Just
good.
checking with you, dude.
You thought you were 30.
I thought you were about 30.
I got that a lot when I had my beard, so...
Yeah.
I mean,
Now you look 12.
with my 5 o'clock shadow coming in.
I had a beard at 12. Full beard like this.
Yeah. Is that where your hair went?
Yeah. Grew hair too much, so shaving it off. Didn't realize it was going through.
Coming out the other side.
Yeah.
Yes, you have permission to roll your eyes, Patsy.
Hey, 40 years of this, she knows.
That's right, I think this is where you got it, too, so... The attitude.
insulted.
Not my mother. Okay.
So I don't know that we have any answers.
We don't have any answers, but I think that we've got a good start on maybe some ideas.
At least recognizing...
And if you're a narcissist, please
stay
don't
away.
join teams and don't even get anywhere near us.
Please.
Please. we've had
We got our
enough,
fill.
we've had enough narcissism for a lifetime.
Alex smiles because he has... He knows what we're talking about.
All right, we're reaching the top of the hour. We don't have any tours this weekend. We do have a private investigation tomorrow night, so that'll be fun.
Eggs.
Wow.
Wow.
What a way to end the show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for putting up with our silliness
Or
tonight.
Alex.
And I tooted in.
Wow. All right, have a good night, everyone.
Night, everyone.
I